That's my plan and emergency plans.
I was also thinking to put some units on that hill, but I thought that there would not be enough cover maybe. And I also didn't want to have all the units in the town because of the enemy artillery you mentioned.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
I thought I put some in the trees to the south, some in the town, so spread them so the artillery doesn't kill all with 3 rounds.
Yes. Good point. And I guess I forgot to tell you had the time to prepare a good defensive position, so you will be able to dig in foxholes on that ridge up there.
But that's not possible in Arma.
That's true. Too bad, we're talking tactics, not games. Okay.
Ideal situation, not ours.
Yeah, exactly. This is all dependent on you actually get some squad leaders and some team leaders who knows what they're doing anyway. But yeah, so that's probably the way I would try and handle a situation like that. You're getting attacked by motorized units coming towards you, and you just have to hold them off. Then I would actually put. I would simply be sacrificing those units down in the town, because the enemy can easily identify the town and easily call artillery on them. And the only protection is that at least they're in cover from fragments by being in the town. But they're basically being sacrificed in order to let the 2 machine guns up on the ridge work peacefully and have them fucking chew up the enemy before they cross the open area and get into the town. Okay, that's one scenario. Do you want to do another, or would you want to try and get in game and see some of these terms in action?
I'm okay with.
I'm still updating my my 6-day reader for some reason is still running.
Okay, so we'll just keep doing.
Can we do one more?
Yeah, there's a new acre hotfix.
Yes, we can make your hotfix, I guess.
Okay, let's see. What do I want to do this time? It's too bad that I showed you the best delay map I had.
So these maps, Godhand, have you got these pre-made, or are you grabbing these out of Arma as you're using them?
Yeah, I just grabbed just before you guys came in. I started Arma and I just took some screenshots from the editor, and then I load them into upload them to Scribbler, and then we can sit here and draw on them. Okay, that's good.
Are you creating your battle plans with the computer or just pen and paper?
When we play?
It's like for Sunday. Do you have created some screenshots or documents?
I haven't even had time to make that briefing yet. I'll try and do it tomorrow, and then you're gonna give like a 5-page up order with pictures like last time I led a mission.
Because I'm interested to see the.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it. If what I'm planning can be carried out, it should be pretty straightforward. But yeah, there's a lot of X factors.
Does it make any sense that if you were platoon leading, to have a client like a Scribbler and have it over on your second monitor just for greater situational awareness, and actually put your icons all on there, and as you got your reports coming in from the field, you could actually position, 2 sections where they are and 1 section where they are.
Yeah, I actually do that in real life. I would sit with a map that I've drawn taped a plastic sheet to, and I sit there with a magic marker, and I just sit marking all the info I get. Like, okay, there's an ID around that grid, so that's there. Just put a dot and write ID next to it, and okay, we had contact there at that time. I just put down contact, and then in the side margin I put contact at that time, and basically a salute report. So I can remember it, because otherwise when you're doing your after action, you're just like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. No, I was doing that on the off I had yesterday. I was using the map tools to follow along with us while we were in game. So I had our path exactly at the end of game.
But yeah, I only have one monitor, so it's gonna be pretty tough for me. But
You only have one monitor?
Yeah.
What is wrong with
That's
you?
not really fair, because some people have 3 monitors, and you only... Oh, that's terrible.
So, Jimbo, how many
bastard.
are you?
I have 2 monitors. But I have 2 computers.
So,
well, I make up for it by having a 42-inch monitor.
Holy Jesus. That's bigger than my desk.
Bigger than the room my desk's in.
Okay, guys. Who wants to show me the most awesome delay mission ever?
Jimbo.
I'll do it.
So, Jimbo, reference lower right edge, you'd see as a tiny gay red arrow trying to snuggle its way up this ASR.
See?
Okay, so imagine the enemy is not there yet. He's 1 hour out, so you have time to make a delaying fight against him, and you are to delay him for, let's say, 1 hour.
What are the friendly... What do I have for friendly assets?
Oh, I'll give you your platoon. There you go.
How
You
can
only
you
have your standard light infantry.
How can you upload images to Scribbles? Is just moving the image onto the screen, or?
I only have
Now,
one.
if you look, we have those 2 tabs in the top right corner, one called Participant, one called Assets. You go into Assets, and I have uploaded pictures in there. I don't know if you can see it. There's
Yeah, I can see.
below that, upload new image.
Okay, that upload I can't see, but I see the images.
Just to be clear, what is the estimated enemy force coming in?
Oh yeah, I'm an asshole like that. Let's see, what do we want? It is a light infantry company accompanied by a motorized recon platoon. And they're motorized in Wotniks.
And I have AT, standard portable AT, but not javelin.
You have your 3 standard squads where each rifleman carries AT4, and you have your weapon squad that are carrying 2 Morse and 2 general purpose machine guns.
Oh, we're gonna chew them up. I wouldn't say we'd destroy it, but we're gonna do some damage. And where do we think they're going? Where are we trying to deny them to get to?
I'm gonna increase your situational awareness a little then. You have friendly company over in Guglevo that are trying to extract. They're in contact at this time, so they need you to make sure they don't get outflanked while they're falling back to the west, and then once that's done, you have to fall back to the west to their position. So the enemy will most likely be trying to outflank your buddies by moving up this ASR, and then coming in from the west here and cutting off their escape route. You have to delay them for an hour until they can get all the wounded loaded up and get back into a good defensive position where you can meet them just outside the map to the west. Well, an hour might be extreme, but you get my drift.
Darn, I made a little blue mark and I can't get it to go away. It's no big deal. There. Okay, I think this is going to be very similar to the first one. Is that I'm gonna assume that they're gonna keep the vodniks on the road or close to the road. So I'm gonna put a section in the far south that's gonna be able to alert the rest of the sections, just in case they decide to send some infantry to the forest. West from when we see them at the little town down in the southeastern corner. I think they're going to go that way. I think they're going to try to follow the road. What we would do is we would ambush as they went up the road, and as our sections ambushed into set up arcs of fire. And then as they engage, before they sustain much damage, leapfrog up and just continue this all the way through the forest edge to this final phase line here at 087, and then they would fall back and join up with the rest of the company and proceed to the northwest.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so what Jibbo's plan is hitting on is that the first section can effectively engage the enemy vodniks as they come up the road, and that the enemy will then continue up along that road, taking fire all the way. If the enemy is hell-bent on them having to get to the other side, it could be possible, but it's most likely the enemy will turn to face this new threat. So if you're able to stay hidden until you get them up onto this X here, then yeah, you have a pretty good defensive position. But if you get detected or ambushed at this X here, then you will most likely be faced with an enemy platoon forming line here and then going after you guys too.
If that was the case, I think I'd reposition and fall back further to the west. That would be the secondary plan. If they were to try to, if they would detect us sooner, they would detect that squad in the south and begin fighting us before they were all displayed nicely in front of us across that little valley.
One thing also to remember is when people are traveling along a road with open terrain on both sides, they tend to be looking for contacts just because this is like a nightmare scenario to the enemy. Imagine traveling down that road and just seeing fucking 10, 80 weapons opening up at the same time. So yeah, the plan is sort of good, but it's also sort of flawed. So especially when you take into considerations where your friendly units are at, because your friendly company is only covering to here, this blue line here. That's basically what they're covering. So you're actually way in front, pretty much in front of your friendly units now, and the enemy might be able to use that and just flank you to the south and cut you off from your friendlies. Even though they would be taking fire doing so, they could still do some major damage to you as well. So what I would propose is that you move, you fall back a little from the beginning, and engage from Stay there, you red line. They engage from up here, yeah. So basically, what you want to do is let the enemy get all the way up here in this crossroad if they're using that, or at least let them get up here, so that you can open up with your platoon and effectively stop them. Because if you can do that, then you can pretty much be doing a delay all the way back to your friends and further, just by bounding through this forest here. So you can have a multiple layer defense, one layer here, one layer here, then Jimbo's face line, then even fall back one layer here, and then just keep going like that. That could be your delaying using some unprepared positions, with the first position hopefully taking out a large portion of the enemy forces as they come out of that tree line at 0904 and something.
I'm glad you said that, because I thought about that, but I thought that
You're cutting out, Jimbo.
this valley here, I thought about if I was up there and they detected us, they could move around behind us. They could move around from the south and then cut me off that way.
Oh, they could.
If I was down below, gee, I'm putting too many marks on the map. If I was down below where the original plan was, and they detected us, I could have taken the unit. I can't remember where I had them, but if this unit here was detected right away before the con up here, and they really became a good target. If they detected us when we were, then what we could have done, fought a bounding delay, like breaking from contact, back up towards our line as they were coming up the hill, because this is all a valley here, and they're coming uphill at us. Yeah, you could do this a million different ways, though, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. And that's all part of the sweetness of being a platoon leader, that you can only expect so many scenarios from the enemy, and you that's also why in the briefing you give a most likely course of action and a most dangerous course of action. And in my plan, the most likely course of action, since the enemy was hell-bent on or I expect the enemy to be hell-bent on our flanking our company, then I would be thinking as platoon leader, fuck, I just need to stop them at this road, and then I need to prevent them using this road and fall back along with my friendlies. But that's all dependent on the enemy actually being busy. If they think they have a good time, or they have time for it, they would probably dismount as soon as they hit tree lines, and they would just be walking through the wood area, and then Jimbo's plan would have worked out better. So it's all depending on what the enemy is actually going to do.
Yeah. And
Because,
that's, I'm glad you said that too, because I thought about, in all the scenarios here, we're discussing defense. We're discussing platoons in defense. But in order to do that, you really should put the other hat on and discuss, if you were attacking in this scenario, what would you do? Because that's how you build your defense, right?
exactly. That's a good point, Jimbo. You really want to go around saying, what would I do if I had to attack this place, and what would I not want my enemy to do? And basically, what we're going to be doing next time, we're going to be talking about assaults, and that's why I wanted to teach you guys defense first, because then you could think, okay, what would I do if I had to defend this, and what would I be most scared of my enemy doing? That's really something you need to take into account when we're doing assaults. And something that some commanders fail to do is thinking, okay, how can I do the most damage to the enemy's battle plan possible?
Yeah, because I sure wouldn't want to lead a couple of platoons up that valley, up that forested valley, against potentially dug-in positions on the way uphill. That would be tough.
That's a kill zone in capital letters, man.
Say again, Soviet?
That's a kill zone in capital letters, man. Between the two valleys, Black Forest.
Having to go up there with your two platoons?
No, we're talking about defending or attacking.
Did you cut out, Soviet?
I don't know if I was gonna talk.
Okay. Anywho, that's kind of what I planned today, and I hope you could derive something useful from it. At least I had some fun. And I hope you guys will be able to come back next Thursday. We're going to be talking about offensive stuff, the fun stuff.
Cool.
That's really good.
And I'm looking forward to the Sunday because I'm the team leader of one of your M240 machine gunners.
Sexy.
Oh yeah, Jimbo. Expect that most of our movement will be mounted. So expect us to drive up to. I'm actually going to pull this map up. We might as well talk
Cool.
about it now.
Good. That'd be great.
I haven't finished the plan. I'm going to use Upchuck to check me for major tactical errors, but might as well show you what I'm thinking for now. Initial assault will be on Jobalabop, of course, and what I'm thinking of is that we should that we're basically just gonna be moving up until here. I think that we're gonna have one or two squads dismount. One squad moves through here, other one moves here. Meanwhile, the snipers and the FO would be on their own merry little way, and they'll be setting up an OP up here, where they should be able to observe the town. Snipers can identify what the heavy MGs are and be ready to target those, and the FO can plot some fire missions and start raining hell as soon as possible. Meanwhile, once we have moved through those tree lines, we'll be coming up here, having weapons here. Were you free? Third squad or weapon squad?
Who are you talking to?
Jibbo.
On weapons.
Weapons. Okay, so we'll have you here on the blue dot now. Have free squad covering your north flank, and 2 and 1 will be assault elements on the south side of the road. And you'll have to bring your vehicles up there with you, because we don't really want to have to run back and get vehicles all the time. So you're gonna have to bring your vehicles as far up here as possible with you. Not necessarily using them in combat, because I don't want to lose vehicles, but up there until you can until you can park them safely somewhere without risk of getting hit. Then dismount, having all your awesome weapons ready, and then you and 3 are gonna open up on town. 1 and 2 are gonna open up what they can, but they're gonna, as soon as we feel that we've suppressed the town and the enemy defenses are, the enemy heavy machine guns are and RPGs are down, then 1 and 2 are gonna be attacking the southern compound. One is this first squad is gonna be the southern compound. Second squad is gonna be taking the westernmost compound, so that you can cover them and the snipers can cover them. Once they've taken those compounds, I'll have you and third squad move down, take these 2 northern compounds. We'll then reorganize SR in those compounds. Maybe I'll push a squad up here and a squad up here if they're in good enough shape, and I'll have the helo come in on the west side of town for initial casualty extraction. And once we've reorganized and refitted the platoon with healthy people, we'll be moving on the second area that I haven't worked out a complete plan for yet. But initial plan would be to somehow just line up the platoon in a column and then move up here, bringing us to the next slide.
So we're not expecting a counter assault then, I guess.
No, from the briefing, most likely enemy course of action is to stand and fight. If the enemy is counter-attacking, he's coming from the north. I should probably address. Yeah, basically I want us to get into town and reorganize so we have a fence on the western side of town, because that's where I expect the enemies to be pressing in from if they counterattack. But once that's done, our objective is actually to keep attacking. And the way I would probably end up doing that is by pushing up on the east side of this ridge, hopefully somewhat undetected, and then have the snipers and FO get in position somewhere here, and then your squad as effective as possible up here, and first squad up here helping you watch to the north. Give some arcs to fire out. First squad here. If we don't get outflanked, your squad will have a big ass field of fire, because I want you to use
where's
javelins.
Where's second squad? Where's Bloodbane?
Yeah, I'm still yeah, Bloodbane squad leader too, that's right.
Yeah, I'm leading Bravo.
Okay. You'll be an assault element again, so I'll have first squad and weapons up there, providing you security. You and 2 will get in position up here, and pretty much on my go, you will be going into Semtexville, blurring that shit out.
Cool.
I know it's a long way, but I expect at least Jimbo will be able to use his javelins to take out any vehicles or heavy machine guns in place in Tropicaville, at least together with the snipers and the FO. Once you're down there in Semtexville, you'll most likely get to continue attacking. Maybe I'll have Jimbo use his MGs to prevent enemies from coming in from the north, and I'll have the last squad assist you. You're basically just going to be doing a platoon assault into the east side of Tropicaville, and then 1 squad taking this sector, 1 squad pushing up taking this sector, and 1 squad pushing up taking this sector. I haven't worked out a complete plan for that, and Urban Combat tends to disagree with me.
Well, you could always just level it with the artillery and then...
Yeah, it's pretty much my plan.
There's a thought.
Speaking of
Nope,
artillery,
there isn't.
does the enemy not have any artillery?
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
Basically, we're only expecting an enemy platoon plus. That's 60 enemies max.
Far out.
So basically, my plan is the first town should be pretty much leveled by artillery when we move in there. You should pretty much just be doing a mop up in there.
Yeah.
And then reorganize, pick up casualties,